session is going to be the same format, right, team? Same format. So that way, when you come next month, you'll be ready. So there's 3 parts. The first part of the session we just finished, where we answer Vamsi's deep reflective questions about how we can get better results, because reflection leads to better results. We can think now, we can find where we want to be. So that was a great session from Vamsi just now, and he'll be giving more of those pointers throughout this hour that we're going to be spending together. The second part of today's call is the showcase. So why do we do a showcase? It's really simple, especially since most of you are in the Desi Indian community. You know, a lot of you might think of me, you might look at me as speaker and you still make excuses. You go, oh, Brendan was born in Canada. He doesn't have an Indian accent. He's great at speaking, even if, by the way, I have a crooked left arm. I spoke my whole life in a language I didn't even know. And I studied accounting in college. And I still coach a lot of CEOs and senior executives on how to speak. So I always like to pull one person from this community to just set the example so that every month when you see somebody who comes from the same village as you, the same country as you, grew up with the same accent, came on to the US on the same H-1B visa as you did, and they're speaking like a legend, that inspires you every month to go, wow, if that person can do it. And last month we showcased the incredible Srini, and he gave us a great speech about failure and what he learned from his daughter. You get to see different examples, not from random places, from this community, from this call that you're on. So without further ado, let's welcome to the stage this month's spotlight. Kasi Pandian has been working with me privately for a long time, and he was one of the first members to ever join Personal Leadership Academy. And we were working on a speech together that he's really excited to share with you. So all of you pay close attention to Kasi's amazing speech. Let's give it up for Kasi Pandian, everybody. The mic is yours, Kasi, whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Brendan. What goes around from you, that comes around to you. In 2015, we bought a new flat in Chennai with a lot of excitements, and we very, very proud because we were the first youngest couple by own a house in our family. New place, new environment, and new people. With that excitement, we moved to a new place. But we realized within a week, nobody in this area liking us. They were looking at like alien. We came to know that there was a issue in our landowner, and he didn't listen to the localites, and he built a high-rise building. And we were the first family to move over, and the entire localites taking a revenge on us. The lady stays in opposite. She shuts down the door always whenever we open our patio door. By saying all of this, my wife started scaring and started asking me, can we move out of this place? I was looking at her. Babe, this is not a Costco product. We can return it within a week. On top of it, we have a very heavy mortgage on it. And everywhere people will be like this, just ignoring them. Because we hardly live in this house only on weekends. That too, we will be busy with our daughter. So just ignore and move on and start using to live with this area. We were like in a war zone with enemies. Days went. One Monday morning, there was a heavy rain. I was about to go to office. When I came down, the rain was not stopping. I didn't check the forecast. I didn't know it was going to rain for next 3 days. So I decided to go to office later. So I called office. I said, like, I'll be coming to office later. But after lunch, the rain was not stopped. By seeing the condition, I told my wife, I'm going to called my office and taking off today. She also said, okay, I can also do the same thing. That is the first best decision together we made after 3 years of marriage life. The power has gone, so we don't have any other option. We just came out and watching in the parking lot, watching the rain and enjoying. My daughter was playing around. The rain was not stopping. By seeing us, the next door grocery owner joined with us. He's the only person interested in talking to us because I used to buy groceries with them. We started talking, and by seeing the climate, I asked my wife, can we get some tea? She was looking at us like in a weird look, but anyway, we got a tea. And me and the owner was talking about the world-class problems like inflation and politics, everything, pretending we were the one going to sign next day budget. When we are talking, there was a car approaching in the parking lot, and there is a stranger came down and approaching us. He asked me, hey, can I park the car? He was roaming around that area. He couldn't find a place. Now only I realized our building is like 2-3 feet higher than the ground level. So that is one of the reason the neighbors were complaining. I said okay to this guy. The grocery owner was looking at me like, how come we can allow a stranger to our parking? But I didn't mind it. This guy parked it and didn't turn off the engine and came to us. He was explaining he was right across the street, and he knew that like it's going to rain for 3 days. He wants to go out of the city. He started 3 hours back, but he didn't end up anywhere. So, but now he is unable to go to his house also. Then I asked him like, why don't you turn off the engine? Then he said, my family is inside. There was 2 kids, 3 months old and 6 month baby. Then I said like, you can take them to my house. Like we have rooms. But he was not comfortable. How come a stranger or a family man can send their family to a stranger house, right? Even I was in his shoes. I do the same. I understood the situation and went upstairs to call my wife, and she came and made them comfortable. We started again our conversation, but rain was not stopping. So we decided we can call off and again we can sign the budget next week. So the stranger is not comfortable. He wants to go and check his house, whether he can go back. I said, I don't have any issues. The choice is yours. He went, and within 5 minutes, he came back and said, the water level is above knee level. I can't even reach my home. The night they spent on my home, the night went good. The rain was not stopping. The next day morning, me and my wife came down to check what's happening in the road. Still, it was raining. We saw there was a couple sleeping in our parking lot. When we approached them, they said they were our neighbors, and their house is full of water, so this is the safest place to sleep over there. By seeing that lady, my wife asked, are you pregnant? How come a person can ask a question like to a stranger? That too, she's lean. Between she said, yes, 3 months. I was like, I know only world class things, not like the home things, right? Men's are like men. Then she asked them to go to the other room. Now I realized when I asked her, I don't want to go for a 3 BHK flat. to save 10 lakh if we go for a 2 BHK. But my wife was very stubborn on her decision. And now I understood everything for a reason, right? So there were two strangers in our home. They stayed for 2 days and the rain stopped and they all went their nest back. The day-to-day problem started because there is no power and the area is full of water. We need milk, daily things, vegetables. So I went down and checked. There was full of crowd in front of the grocery store and everybody wants to buy. Everybody has money. But that is the first time I realized money can't buy anything, everything. People were ready to pay for double, but milk is not available. Vegetables were not available. By seeing the crowd, I thought, okay, I can go back. I can adjust without a milk for my tea. But I got a call from a grocery owner says that, sir, I have your milk. I'll get it to your home later. That is the first time he was looking at me, not a business material. I smiled. Then I went back. The opposite lady handed over a milk packet to my wife saying, hey, you have a kid, right? You need it. We smiled at her. That is the first time she was speaking to us. Within 2-3 days, there were a lot of freebies given by government, even though we don't want, but we were getting it from our neighbors. These are all free. Why don't you take it? Everybody is getting that. Why not you guys? From then onwards, we were localites. What goes around from you, that comes around to you. Thank you.
Wow, let's get up for Kasi, everyone. Crushed it. I love the way you closed the loop on the story. So well done. Well done, Kasi. So let's do a little interview. Let's do a little interview of you so you can share some lessons. So 2 questions for you. Let's start with the first one, and then we'll have Vamsi share some thoughts too. First question is, what was your experience creating this story like? Because I know you put a lot of effort into this personal story. We did a couple of back and forth. What's the biggest lesson you learned from doing that?
If you really ask me, Brendan, it's like four months back, hardly. I'm a person, I never talk in a video. I'm very scared to talk in front of a people because of, it's the English is not my native language. I always having a fear. There were exercises like how many people knows random word exercise, and even now we started with emotions. Where to stop, where to pass. If you had talked to me 6 months before, I was like talking like I was filling with so many words. I don't know whether I did it or not in this storytelling, but I got confident where to pass, how to change my tone, where to give more pressure, the vocal tone. There are so many things I learned from Communication Accelerator. And I practiced it. As always, Brendan says that getting a lesson is not a big deal, but we have to practice it, right? So before coming to this, I would have practiced like this story for 3-4 times, but it's not with the same words, but again, the story line is same. So earlier I used to buy hard things and again, I just go and do it. Now I'm not doing anything. I just go in the flow. Yeah.
Kasi, one thing that I felt was you did not tell us a story, you showed a story. Telling a story is one thing, showing it is a completely different level. You just demonstrated that skill, and congratulations on that. This is not a small thing, and we all know who Kasi was like 4 months ago. He was not even like able to open his mouth and say anything confidently. Now, see, look at him. I was just like messaging Brendan. Kasi is going to be like a next Mani Ratnam. He's going to be the best storyteller if he really wanted to be in this world. Good, good, good. So tell us a little bit about with this confidence, Kasi. It's not about the storytelling. It's not about communication. What is possible for you? You started this program as a developer, then you're thinking about getting into the senior developer, maybe getting into like a technology side. What is like a possible for you with this confidence? What are your thoughts right now?
So before this one, Vamsi, when you see my goals when I joined PLA, I wanted to go as like a senior architect. I want to go always in a technical side because I strongly believed that like I cannot communicate well with English. So I cannot get into management role. So I was always focusing on what is the best role I can achieve is like senior architect level. But after getting into that, like this level of confidence, I know like I can go into management side, and now my goal is like CTO. So I got that confident. Earlier, I didn't even think about going into next level manager, but now I'm fully confident that I can go to that.
Absolutely. That's really 10x move, right? So
True.
one thing here for everyone: success doesn't take time; it takes courage. The moment you step into that courageous position, anything is possible for anyone. This is not like you need to go to Harvard, you need to complete that MBA, you need to get that PhD. What Kasi just demonstrated, he's just like one of us. And just 4 months, he really put information is not going to be helping you. Whatever that next 30 minutes that Brendan is going to be teaching you, if you are just going to apply that towards your communication, you will become like Kasi. If you're really serious about it, you can come to Communication Accelerator or Personal Leadership Academy. That's not necessary, but like take the next 30 minutes very seriously and ask yourself, if you don't put that information, you buy the program, you buy all the books, you don't get anything. You can't learn how to swim if you just like start watching how to swim. You need to just jump into the pool, right? What Communication Accelerator does is it creates an environment for you to practice it. This is the program that we designed for first a lot of C-level executives. Then we thought like this community definitely needs a lot of help, and we started like inviting like people like Kasi and Srini last week. Like he showcased last month, he showcased his he's just like maybe 3 months into that program and how everyone felt after that. So without any delay, we got like a 33 minutes. Let's jump into Brennan. Let's take it to the next level.
Absolutely, Vamsi. And kudos to you, Kasi, for being our spotlight this month and for inspiring us in such a big way. Even me, I was thinking to myself, can I write a story like this? I think I need to get better. I need to take classes from you. So thanks for sharing Future Mani Ratnam to us. And let's go on to part 3 of the call. So a couple of ground rules. I would like to share the story. Because remember, team, repetition is the mother of invention, right? The more you repeat something, the more it gets retained. So let's recap the 3 parts. So you get better and better, because most of you attend this call a lot. You come every single month, which is perfect. So I want to repeat it so it ingrains in your mind. Number 1, okay, we started with reflection. So Vamsi had us ask some deeper questions. The second part is the showcase. We showcase somebody from our community who is applying the knowledge that we're teaching. Sanju is another great example earlier in the call where he applied the tricks that we taught him last month, and now the relationships with his coworkers are much better. What's the third part of today's call? The third part of today's call is a game that we play on this call called SYP. Sell your problem. Okay, sell your problem.